I finally caught up with Hajime no Ippo. Well, the manga at least. But anyways, this is gonna be a long yap session. This is gonna be giving my thoughts overall about what I think about the manga. Considering the manga is still ongoing and it's mad long, please forgive me. I'm gonna try to make this quick as possible, but just bear with me, okay? So consider yourself warned, because if you're gonna keep watching this, it's gonna be pretty much spoilers for the rest of the manga. And if you haven't read it, please read it, because I don't want to spoil it for you just like this. But if you don't care and you just want to hear my thoughts, hey man, by all means. So I might be all over the place with this video, so please forgive me, because I don't ever really script my videos. I kind of just go based off the dome, what I've remembered and what I just read. So, just to let y'all know, if y'all new to this channel, that's pretty much how I operate. But anyways, I know majority of people only seen the anime, but I wanted to continue reading the manga, or at least check it out, because I heard Ippo retired, and that made me a lot more curious. Now, was it worth reading over 1,500 chapters? A little bit over 1,500 chapters. Absolutely. One of the main reasons why I love Hajime no Ippo so much, not just our main character, but bro, it is the side characters. I feel like they carry the story so much. They get a lot of screen time, and I always felt like if the author really wanted to take his focus away from Ippo and give it to a different character in this universe, he definitely could have. But we're following Ippo's journey, so obviously, it is what it is. Now, Ippo's journey has been a crazy one. Considering where the anime left off, and most of the time that we saw in the anime, he always won by tough and grits. You know what I'm saying? His only loss came to Dante early in his career, which made sense because he was still very green and stuff like that. Now, when I was reading the manga at the time, he was still winning and stuff like that. And then I started questioning myself, when is he gonna meet someone just as tough as him, durable, with grits, and full of determination pretty much to win at any cost? And that's when we got to the World Stage Saga. Now, FYI, I'm not sure what the actual arc is called specifically. I just call it the World Stage Saga, because this is pretty much where Ippo takes a leap into his boxing career, trying to become world champion, not just the Japanese championship, a champion, my bad. Now, see, this is where things heat up, because he fought someone named Alfredo Gonzalez from Mexico, and he loses his second loss. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This loss was so devastating when I first read it. I was in tears by the end of it, because bro, he got knocked out cold, and then those inner monologues towards the very end, oh my god, that shit just broke my heart. And then the fight after that, it was supposed to be a comeback fight, and guess what? He loses and he gets KO. Now this loss hurt so much more, because this is what sent him into retirement. And honestly, man, like, this loss, he wasn't supposed to lose, but he lost, and for many reasons. But man, listen, man, I can only imagine reading this manga if you were a weekly guy and you've been following the story for a while. Like, for me, it's a little bit different because I'm binging it. Obviously, now I'm gonna be reading this on a week-to-week basis, but now that I binged it, I didn't really feel. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still hurt me, but I can only imagine for the people who read it up to this point and they saw Ippo retire. Like, you pretty much invested so many years just so the main character can go into retirement, and for many years, even till this day, he has still not went back into the ring. Like, that is crazy when you really think about it. I can only feel what y'all feel. But anyways, this loss was a blessing in disguise, because during the retirement, he's still ongoing with training and stuff like that. He's still learning. He becomes a coach, a second trainer, and stuff like that. But now, though, he has so many weapons in his arsenal he didn't have before. He can parry punches now. He can catch and shoot. He can even fight in southpaw, which is scary. And we also get a small glimpse of the new Dempsey role when he was sparring against Vlog, which was really crazy to see. And by the way, there's a fan animation that looks so cool in that. But just in general, though, he's a better fighter now than he was when he was an active fighter. Currently, he's still retired at the point of this manga, so a lot of us are just kind of waiting for him to return back to the ring. But we're just waiting for that final trigger, because you can even tell all the opponents that he's fought, his comrades, his loved ones, and stuff like that, like Vlog, Miyata, Sendo, Mashiba, the list goes on and on. They pretty much take notice of Ippo's new abilities and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, it's up to him whether or not he wants to come back. Like, there has to be a fire lit in him to want to come back, because there's been plenty of hits throughout the manga where he wants to come back, but we just need that small little push. That's all we need. But anyways, enough about Ippo. Let's talk about the side characters, because bro, there's been so many cool side characters, so many badass fights. Like Vlog, he became a world champion, and bro, that was such an amazing fight. He deserved it by all means. Sendo beating Alfredo, and that fight was fucking badass. It was pretty much a slugfest. He got the get back for Ippo, and not just that, he got a match for Ricardo. He even dropped him in a sparring match. And keep in mind, Ricardo is a pound for pound fighter. You may call it luck, you may call it was maybe an accident, but one thing for sure is that he got him down to his knees. But anyways, more on that later. Now Mashiba, him going to the world stage, oh my god, listen, I did not expect him to go that far, but man, he did. And bro, I turned into a Mashiba fan by the end of that fight. Bro, that fight against Bad Boy Rosario, that left me speechless. I have so many things to say about that fight, but I might save that for a different video. But just know that fight had me in a chokehold. I was in tears. He pretty much got a whole redemption arc. And dude, just the way he lost, man, he lost just like how Kimura did, which is karma maybe, or did he lose just to a stronger fighter that day? And you could also make an argument too that Rosario didn't come prepared enough, because he even admitted himself that next time he comes into Japan, he's gonna come with full strength. And who knows, you know, like I said, I have so many thoughts about that fight. But anyways, and one of my favorite moments in that manga was actually in that fight as well, because we get to see Mashiba smile for the first time, looking at Ippo directly and pretty much accepting Ippo. Like, oh, I got the chills reading that, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that, oh my god, dude, you just, like, you have to read the entire manga so you can understand what I'm trying to say. But anyways, that fight was amazing from start to finish. And like I said, I might make a whole separate video about that, because bro, but anyways, not only that, bro, Takamura, because he's a fan favorite, he's still undefeated so far in the manga, and him being Takamura as always. But bro, there's two fights that I want to see, but the one that I really want to see the most is Takamura versus Bison. That's probably my second favorite fight that he had besides the Hawk one, being pushed to his limits again. And bro, just, oh my god, that fight was so amazing from start to finish. Now, can he conquer 6 weight classes? We'll see. Like I said, he may retire undefeated, or he's gonna have a huge accident or something. But like I said, once you get to the bigger weight classes, these big boys, bro, they can take a punch and they can give it right back. So we'll see. But like we seen Takamura do, he's an animal. The fight against Dragon was also pretty badass as well. But anyways, now about Miyata. Now see, Miyata, even like I said, most of us know him from the rivalry between him and Ippo. But ever since Ippo retired, Miyata really hasn't had that motivation to go to the next world stage yet. But he does have the skills, in my personal opinion, to do so. He just has to continue and kind of let go of Ippo. But who knows, at the end of the day, we might get Rosario versus Miyata. But I do hope that the author gives Miyata some type of shine. Now, when it comes to Aoki and Kimura, they're still gag characters, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm still mad that they hold Kimura because he has so much potential. But anyways, overall, I really love this series way more than I initially thought, because dude, I love the anime so much. That's actually what got me into boxing. But now that I read the manga, listen, Haikyuu has always been my favorite manga of all time when it comes to sports. But I think Hajime Ippo just might have taken that. It has great fights, great character arcs, and you would think that it would get repetitive after a while, like, you know, the same formula when it comes to boxing. But nah, dude, it's nothing like that. We have so many great storylines, all kind of intertwining with themselves, and dude, it's just so good. Another match that I really like was Wally versus Ricardo. And then currently Sendo is fighting the number 1 pound for pound fighter in this series at this moment of time. Now, will he win? I doubt it. I love Sendo, but he doesn't have the skills to compete with Ricardo. Like I said, he has 1 in 100 chances just to land one hit. And like I said, when it comes to boxing, all it takes is one punch to change the entire fight. But we'll see how everything plays out within that fight. It's still ongoing, so it may continue to the rest of the year. Who knows? But either way, will Sendo be pushing his limits? Will he push Ricardo to his limits? Because we know that the only person to kind of push Ricardo to his limits was Wally for a little bit. But who knows? At the end of the day, I'm trying to see where all this ends off and stuff like that. But I do want the author to finish Hajime Ippo. I don't want it to be like a berserk situation. Rest in peace, Miro's soul. But I do hope the author can wrap up this story sooner than later. I wouldn't mind an open ending, but I do want to see Ippo at least come back with a new skill set, have a couple fights, and fight Ricardo and stuff like that. Even if he doesn't win, I would still love to see that fight just to see how far he's come. Because at the end of the day, the whole message of the story is what does it feel like to become strong? And everybody has their own versions of what does it feel like to become strong, and Ippo is still trying to find that answer. So we'll see where all that plays out. But like I said, I just wanted to give my thoughts overall about the manga, just my initial thoughts. I apologize if this video was too long. I know I'll probably miss some key points and some vital points of the story, but like I said, it would have been like a fucking hour video if I wanted to do that. But I will make separate videos about certain matches and stuff like that, where I think about my thoughts overall. But if y'all did enjoy this video though, let me know what y'all think about the story, the manga. If y'all are manga readers, I'm assuming y'all are, since if y'all watching this video. And yeah, if you haven't checked out the manga, listen, go check it out, because there's so much crazy shit that happened. But let me know what y'all think. I appreciate all the support. I will keep making videos, so keep subscribing. And yeah.